All right, I want to go over the Dolphins running game, both against KC and then projecting it to the future, because I do believe this run game is the key to all the Dolphins' dreams of great success. And if they get this run game going, hopefully the return of Achane is going to add to that, but it's going to always come down to the blockers that make the run game happen. Now, clearly, Waddle, Hill, Tua, their ability to create game-changing leverage does help this. Let's take a look at the KC game, a bunch of snaps there, some film at it, so you can show a few areas where the Dolphins can find their way and turn themselves into a more physical offense to go along with this speed. Now, I want to talk about two styles of running the football, both blocking and the angle of the running back. This is zone stretch or inside zone. Now, zone stretch depends as much as the angle of the running back as it does where the blockers are going. Now, the blockers in zone stretch, they all slide down the line. They create this stretching motion, but also the runner has a wide angle and he's aiming outside the tackle. On inside zone, the running back aims vertical to the line of scrimmage. And with the blocking, you'll get duo blocking, which is two guys on one. You'll get a lot of vertical blocks where you're driving the guy off, or you get a guy takes one step, turns, and caps off the line of scrimmage. But you can also get pulling blocks, and it has a tendency to be a more physical style than the finesse style of zone stretch. But as you can see here, you can get inside blocking from the blockers, but then have an angle of the zone stretch. There's a lot of nuance involved in what goes on here, but this is just a basic take. Okay, let's take a look at this. Last thing before we get into the film, you have to always consider area of attack. This depends on matchups, the skill sets of your offensive line as they go against the opponent, but also has to take in consideration the running back skill set as well. You can see last week, you can see clearly we had lots of success on the right side, and even some of the long ones that broke left had a tendency to come off that inside area. And clearly, having Hunt there, Robert Hunt in that inside made a huge difference and was really the primary place where we had a talent advantage. And the speed of Mostert was able, and toughness was able to get inside, get upfield, and then even break it back outside. Now, this week against the KC, you could see we had tons of failure to the right, very, very little success, and most of the success came outside, although there was some success inside to the left, behind my man Teron, Robert Jones, and Connor Williams. And I guess if you want to add in Eichenberg at the end of the game for those last two runs. All right, let's take a look at some plays to see what's going on. See right here, an inside zone run with Teron Armstead right there, sealing it open. And then you got Ingold making a key block, but watch Teron slowly climb. You got two blockers on three defenders on the edge, and Mostert's cut inside and broken tackle there brings about the touchdown. All right, let's look at this one. All right, well, here's an outside zone stretch run. You can see the double by Connor and Robert Jones. Teron sealing the edge. Mostert cutting it up, breaking that tackle, and physical inside, banging away at those backers, forcing them to play physical to stop them, and a nice run. All right, here's an inside zone run with counter action, meaning it's coming back to the opposite way that the handoff is starting in the eye, and a beautiful wash down block by Teron after a beautiful double by Connor and Robert Jones, and a pull over here by Cotton, and a nice opening blast right there by Ingold. And again, Mostert runs inside and picks up a nice physical 7. And everybody on that defensive unit got smashed in the face. This is the play directly after Now watch, you got the angle of Mostert is the outside zone stretch, but the inside zone blocking, play action off of it, and you see the linebackers biting. They're truly believing this play action. It's not play action to guys dropping, and Waddle and Hill are forcing and demanding the coverage to press down into the short and middle, leaving Wilson wide open, and then Tua drops a beautiful pass there. A little push in the back, we won't talk about that. But it was generated off a successful run for about 7 the prior play, and everybody coming up and believing that this was legitimate play action. All right, you'll see right here the same play, and you see how everybody's getting sucked up, and it's Hill on the inside breaker that forces the safety to come up, but that safety would not have had to come up if those linebackers had not bitten so hard on the play action. And so the leverage was created by Hill's speed, but even more so by the legitimate play action with the backers biting up, and that allowed Wilson to be one-on-one. All right, on this one, it's another play where the inside zone run, look, you can see all the blocks, the angle of the back, sucks every defender up. Look at all these guys in the box. You get the play fake, and then you get the end around or the jet sweep, and it's wide open with Mostert there. And that all came about by legitimate play action. All right, I want to do this last play here because I heard a lot of people getting down on Achane, but it's ridiculous when you really look at it. And it will kind of give you a hint without saying anything why we struggle with our edge runs to the right. So here it goes. It's a pitch outside zone, and you can see 56 seals by pushing the tackle back into Ingold, who's not able to get 50, who's a free runner to Achane. Achane can't go inside or outside. There's nobody who's getting out of that. That was primarily a blocking issue. No ifs, ands, or buts. All right, so pulling it all together, when we get back from this bye, you're going to have Tehran, you're going to have Connor and Hunton, along with Jackson and Cotton. And instead of us attacking the weaker run blockers, running our plays through them, we've got to attack the inside zone and outside zone to suit the strengths of our offensive line. And that means outside zone to the left, with Tehran being able to stretch out the end, with Cotton working on a double, with Connor, and then coming back inside zone with Connor and Hunt inside, and even working the counter action that we saw before to kind of accentuate, hopefully, the success we get on the outside zone stretch left and bringing it back inside. But it's these inside physical runs with the inside zone that's going to suck up this secondary and the linebacking groups of opposition to free up the edges and the deep. Right now, as it stands, we run loads of jet sweeps and reverses to the edge. We run to the edge, we pass to the edge, and we pass deep. All this stuff is in the same wheelhouse for the defense to cover. It's the inside zone, the effectiveness inside to pull guys in, to let that post be open like you saw with Wilson, to free things up on the edges like you saw with the Mostert reverse run to the edge. It's got to have a physical component. And when we run inside zone, there's a tendency to get at least some yardage, productive yardage out of it, rather than a big stretch run that ends up in maybe negative play or one, and you're not even beating the guys up. When you run inside zone, at least if it's a yard or 2 or 3 gain, you're smacking these guys in the mouth and you're stealing away some of their life to make it easier down the road. I do think the chances here for the Dolphins to get back to where they want to be, I do believe that with the addition of Hunter, Tehran, and Connor together for the first time, there is a chance, but it's still going to come down to McDaniel calling it right, to attack the opponent in the right area, to attack in every sector of the field, and to also attack where the strengths of the offensive line, and to attack at the strength of the offensive line skill set. So let's see how it plays out. But I do believe this run game is key, and I do believe we have a chance to make it work. But time will tell. Start building your own online sportsbook today by getting signed up with acebread.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.